I'm Lauren and welcome to my craft room. Today I'm sharing a video of a card that I made for one of the two Slimline designs for this month's virtual Make and Take Club crop. I am using Avery Elle's Peekaboo stamps for all the cards this month, and the first card I have is this cute summer boat. Well, it's Peekaboo Boat and Peekaboo Summer Pal stamp sets. And I'm using Fawn dies to create my Slimline card. I think it's so cute and I love all the cute little critters, especially this hammerhead shark. She's the one that won me over on this set. So I'm excited to share with you how I made this card and enjoy the process video. So I have already stamped, colored, and cut out all of my stamped images. I'm using Avery Elle's Peekaboo Summer Pals and Peekaboo Boat stamp sets. I've colored them in with my Letraset alcohol markers. Next, I cut a blue background for my sky, just using some blue paper for my stash and the large Slimline die from Fawn. I also cut 2 pieces of ocean from that same large Slimline and used the Simple Stitch Hillside for the Slimline to create my wavy water. I'm using Distress Oxide in Broken China just to add a little more color to the stitched waves on my water pieces. And I'm using some splatter by Fun Stamper's Journey, they're called Silks, to add some color and splatter to my water. I'm using a blue, a teal, white, and clear shimmer just to give my water texture and dimension and just a fun feel. I keep my cards slightly more simple for classes and I don't get too over extravagant because I want everyone to be able to duplicate them at home. So I'm gluing my large ocean piece directly to my background and I'm gonna apply some foam tape, but I'm not gonna peel off the protective paper yet. I'm just using it to help me place where all my images are going to go. Using wet glue, I glue my dolphin to inside of the boat and I'm putting her fins, one behind and one in front, like she's just cruising along in her little speedboat. I know I want to have this towards the left side of my card because obviously I don't want my speedboat speeding into my little critters trying to have a good time in their floaties. Next, I take my 2 floaties and the rest of my critters and I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to place them. I want my critters to sit inside of these floaty inner tubes, so I'm using an X-Acto knife and I'm cutting along that line where the insert of the floaty is on those 2 images. I'm placing my hammerhead shark in my purple and pink polka dot floaty and the seahorse in my green one. My little crab is going to just be popping his head out of the water. And now that I have good placement, I'm going to use foam tape and adhere my dolphin and her speedboat towards the left of the card. And I'm also going to apply foam tape to the back of my seahorse in her green floaty. And I'm going to apply foam tape again to my hammerhead in the pink and purple floaty, making sure to not go all the way to that left side because it does overlap with my seahorse. And because I popped up my images, I'm gonna add another layer of foam tape to my front ocean piece. I also use a little bit of wet glue. I've seen a lot of really awesome crafters do this. It gives you a little wiggle room before your foam tape sticks down. Next, I put glue onto my crab where he is going to be touching the water and then a little foam tape behind the back of his head that's overlapping with the green floaty. I use my tweezers to just help keep that crab in place while the glue dries. Now the fun part of adding all of their little, well, I guess they're not hands, but little hand-like pieces. So I've got my crab claws, the fins for my hammerhead shark, and the fins for my seahorse that I am gluing down with wet glue onto my cards. Since my seahorse is at a little bit of an angle, I'm gonna tuck her other fin behind her inside that floaty. Now that everyone is placed and dried, I'm gonna start adding some details to my water. I'm thinking of adding that little fish in there, but I just can't find a good place for it, so that fish is gonna come back later. I have this giant bag of jewels that I got from Ink Road Stamps, and I'm excited to finally use them. I didn't know what color to get because there was so much and I didn't want to buy, 10 bags of 8 pounds of jewels. So I started off with this really pretty blue because I thought it goes a lot with sky and water, and I just wanted to get a feel for these jewels. So I placed a few around the card, and I'm just using my jewel picker and wet glue to place them on. I tried to keep with the odd number, and I believe I have 7 total on this card. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 7 total. Now I'm using my simple wavy border from Fawn, and I chose the sentiment Speeding By to Say, and I want my sentiment to curve with my die. So because photopolymer stamps are sticky, I form it on the die and then use my clear block to pick it up. Then I cut out that banner in white cardstock, and I'm able to stamp directly on there to the same form of the banner because I stuck it to the die first. I decided to also trim it with the Slimline die so that way that stitch edge looks the same throughout the card. Next, I cut out my card base. The die size of Fawn's large Slimline is 8.5 by 3.5, so I trim my paper to 8.5 by 7 and score it to create that same size. I stamped the sentiment inside and I glued down that little fish with it. Now I'm ready to adhere my card to my base, and I use wet glue to do that, so I have some wiggle room to make sure it is perfectly centered on the card. I use my bone folder to help flatten out any places that need a little extra pressure. I love this card, and I'm so excited to share how to make it not only with you, but with my friends at the Make and Take Club. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Have a great day.